today we're looking at section 3.8, which is using inverse matrices to solve systems of equations. We're actually just going to go through two systems. We're going to do a 2 by 2 by hand, and then I'm going to walk you through a word problem, a 3 by 3 word problem, and we're going to use our graphing calculators to solve that one. So just two very easy examples. All right, so this first one is a 2 by 2. We're solving the system 2x plus 5y equals 38, x minus 3y equals negative 3. Now remember, anytime you want to solve a system, and especially these 2 by 2s that I want you to solve by hand, you have to identify what your matrices are. Your A matrix, remember, is the coefficients in front of your x's and y's. 2, 5, 1, negative 3. Your B matrix is the answer numbers, 38, negative 3. Now we're going to come down here and we're going to do the determinant of A. Determinant, remember, is diagonal minus diagonal, negative 6 minus 5. There's negative 11. Now we're going to use that determinant and we're going to come over here, we're going to do our inverse A matrix. This is what we learned yesterday. So the inverse matrix, 1 over the determinant times, now we're going to do our little switch around stuff. Trade places on the first diagonal, negative 3, 2. Leave the other diagonal where they are, but negate them, change the signs. And now we're going to do the scalar multiplication with this negative 1/11 times everything. We get 3/11, 5/11, 1/11, negative 2/11. So that is our inverse matrix. All right, so now we're going to go down here, we're going to solve for x. When we solve for x, we need to do A inverse times B. Our A inverse numbers, again, 3/11, 5/11, 1/11, negative 2/11, times the B matrix, which is 38, negative 3. And we are going to do this by hand just to see that, yes, even though you have ugly fractions like this, they will usually come out nice. All right, so the first one, 3/11 times 38, 114 elevenths. Slide over, slide down, gives us negative 15 elevenths. So it's 114 elevenths minus 15 elevenths. That's 99 elevenths. That's 9. Okay, second row, 1/11 times 38 is 38 elevenths. Slide over, slide down is plus 6 elevenths. That's 44 elevenths. That's 4. So as I mentioned, even though your fractions are kind of yucky, they will typically come out nice when you're all done. Your x value is 9, your y value is 4. Solving the 3 by 3 word problem, we're going to do the exact same thing by setting up our systems. This time I'll show you how you can just plug everything into your calculator. At a video store you can buy 3 DVDs. Remember, what you see first is the first letter you're going to use. 3 DVDs, there's X. 2 video games, we'll let video games represent Y. And 4 VHS, we'll call that Z, $130. So the first thing I need to do is be able to write my system. So I'm going to write it as we go. 3x plus 2y plus 4z equals 130. 2 DVDs plus 1 video game plus 5 VHS cost me 105. 3 DVDs plus 3 video games plus 3 VHS, and that costs 135. So there's my system. First thing it usually says in the question is, write the system of equations. We just did that. And then we're going to solve using matrices. All right, so on a test or in your homework, you have to be able to identify for me 3 matrices, the A matrix, the B matrix, and the inverse matrix that you can pull off your calculator. Our A matrix will be the numbers 3, 2, 4, 2, 1, 5, 3, 3, 3. Our B matrix is the answer numbers 130, 105, 135. Now we're going to use our calculator and write down the inverse matrix. Okay, so pull up your calculator. I've already entered my A and B matrix, so we'll just show you that. So your A matrix is a 3 by 3. Your numbers 3, 2, 4, 2, 1, 5, 3, 3, 3. Once you have those numbers entered, quit. We'll pull up our matrix again, arrow over to edit, arrow down once to choice B, enter, and now we'll put in the B matrix numbers. It's a 3 by 1 matrix. Your numbers are 130, 105, and 135. Once you have those entered, you can quit, and then what we're going to do is find the inverse of A. So pull up your matrix, hit enter on number 1, which is matrix A. Now the matrix button is also the button that says x to the minus 1. You're going to hit that button, so it looks like you're raising it to the minus 1. That's our inverse sign. Just hit enter, and here's our matrix. 2, negative 1, negative 1, negative 1 and a half, half, this number, negative a half, half, and again that value. Sometimes it's beneficial to change those into fractions. Go to your math button. Choice number 1 says fraction, so hit enter. So this says take that last answer and change it into fraction form if possible. Yeah, we want to do that. Hit enter. So it changed that 1.166 stuff into 7/6 and 1/6. So we're going to take this and we're going to write it down on our paper. This is the inverse matrix right here. So our inverse, and I have those on paper so I can remember them. 2, negative 1, negative 1, negative 1 and a half, half, 7/6, negative a half, half, 1/6. There's our inverse. Now, solving for the unknown, solving for x, y, z. X is equal to A inverse times B. You're going to use your calculator, and we're just going to tell it to do A inverse times B. Okay, so I'll pull my calculator up again. Clear. So if you have a clear screen, second matrix, take choice number A, number 1. So A, we want the inverse of that. Hit your inverse button, times sign, second matrix, arrow down to B, hit enter. There you've typed A inverse times B, hit enter. Here's your solutions, 20, 15, 10. 20, 15, 10. So our answer is the matrix 20, 15, 10. But remember, when you're solving word problems, those numbers don't mean anything to me unless you put words to them. So just remember what you let everything stand for. Your X value referred to the DVDs. Your Y value referred to the video games. Your Z value referred to the VHS. So when you're solving, make sure you finish it. Say what you got. We're going to be charged $20 for every DVD, $15 for every video game, $10 for every VHS. All right, so there's your instruction on how do you solve a system by hand, 2 by 2, how you can solve a system using the inverse matrix method with your calculator. Okay, and that's the end of section 3.8.